All right, what's going on, everyone? It's Nico, and today I'm bringing you the We Are Overpowered podcast, the first episode of this. It's kind of a trial run thing because I don't know how well this is going to do on my channel. But my guests are Pixelated Apollo and Face Face, the two voices you've probably heard the most from all of my
Hello.
videos. So,
Hello.
what we're going to talk about today. First, patch note stuff. Second, other things. Kind of like the tournament today. And third, personal preferences about gods and stuff and where we think the balance stuff lies. But not in that order because whatever. This is first run, dry run. Let's do this. All right. So, why are you giggling so much? He's camera shy.
I am.
Okay. So, first
Patch
up.
notes.
Well, actually, I want to do an introduction
Oh.
and everything.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Does anyone have, anybody, really excited to go first? It's like, oh, I want to talk about things.
No.
No, you know what? Actually, I hate Smite. I don't even know why I'm here.
All right, so first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to say what's our favorite god, like each of our favorite gods, and then what gods we've been playing recently. Since this is on my
Okay.
channel, my audience kind of knows that I love Thanatos and everything about him, even though I don't think he's that good of a god right now. And the gods I've been playing right now are Hercules, Osiris, and Thor mostly. And everybody's going to be like, Nico, you only play OP shit. And I'll be like, I don't care. All right, so
Hey,
Trent,
if it's part of the game, why not use it?
that's what I'm saying.
Can't agree with that.
I'm mostly a support player, and I've been playing, and sometimes solo. I've been playing a lot of Ra and Geb or Jeb, however you want to say it, and
I've heard both ways at this point.
yeah, Athena is probably my favorite, and she's kind of coming back in popularity. But that's about it. I mean,
Yeah. Tyler? Slash Face
Uh,
Face?
I'm mainly a mid player and try to play solo player and a better support player than some people. And I generally
The
use
call
Raw.
outs.
I usually play Raw in mid and solo, and if I could, in support roles, but I generally play Ymir in the support roles. And Raw is probably the best clearing god of the game, so that's why I like him the best.
Uh-huh. Wait until ROM comes out and you're gonna shit your pants.
Uh,
If he stays the way he is in the PTS. So, that's just a little introduction and everything. But I promised you guys that I would go over the patch notes when I did my ROM video in the PTS. So let's do that real quick. So, you already saw what I think about ROM, but did you guys look at the patch notes or anything and see what you thought about him at all?
I did not this time. I didn't
This
even.
time?
I saw his card. That's about it.
Okay,
He
so-
has fancy pants, and that's about it.
Yeah, he's got fancy MC Hammer pants. But so Rom's his passive is called Astral Quiver. So every 15 seconds he gains an arrow that interacts with all of his abilities except for his ultimate. And every basic attack he lands it lowers the cooldown by 2 seconds. So his first ability, which is the one you're maxing out, is called Astral Strike. Rom switches to a more powerful arrow that pierces and slows. And by pierces, it means it goes through walls, it goes through enemies, it goes through anything. And the slow increases from 20% to 40% at level 5 for 1 second, but it can be reapplied multiple times. And it deals additional damage, 10 to 50 bonus damage per level. This ability consumes one of Rom's astral arrows with every shot. Rom cannot toggle this ability if he has no astral arrows. Cost 1 astral arrow. It costs no mana, and at level 1, he can clear the wave in 4 basic attacks.
Wow.
Yeah, he has the strongest early game clear of any hunter.
So his one is kind of like.
It's Shibalonk, it's like Shibalonke's branching bolas, only it costs no mana, and instead of breaking off, and you know how it hits something and then goes backwards, but to the sides?
Right.
It's
It goes just straight through. And it doesn't increase his range or anything, so you have to stand at the front of the minions, but it kills all of them at level 1.
So as like support, you can't absorb.
Now, he can shoot through you
That's awesome.
entirely. And we're back. Sorry, little hiccup. But like the last thing I was saying is that Roms 1 goes through enemies, and as a guardian, you can't stop him from hitting your carry, so you can't body block him. And his title is just the 7th avatar of Vishnu.
Of course. How?
He's not like Agni
Duh.
or something like that. But yeah, Rom's early game clear is ridiculous. It might get nerfed from the PTS, I'm not sure. And he's amazing. I feel like if you're good with carries and are actually good at landing basic attacks, he's going to be extremely potent.
What about his late game?
His late, well, I mean, he's a hunter. He gets crit and attack speed and just wrecks everything. Yeah. Especially since you can't hide from him by like being behind a wall or something, because he can just shoot through it.
Only every 15 seconds. Or is that just with this one period?
It's every 15 seconds up to a stack of 5. So he could wait 15, 30, 45, 60, a minute, 15 seconds, and then shoot you 5 times through a wall.
Okay.
Yeah. Or if he's basic attacking things, it lowers the cooldown on it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's not going to be fun.
But, other than that, enjoy getting shit on by Rom for a while. There are new god skins. Everybody's seen this.
Yeah.
Raw America.
Yes.
Raw America.
It's probably one of the best skins that they could have made, because who doesn't want Raw to scream Raw America when he ults?
And who doesn't love America? I mean,
I love the skin other than what he screams when he ults. Like, I still think he should have just said America. Or like freedom.
Freedom.
You know,
I don't know. I think it's cool.
Yeah, no, it's a cool skin.
Yeah. And then there was Iron Gamer Thor, which is a recolor for Thor, but the reason it's 400 gems is if you purchase the skin, it will help support amateur LAN tournaments run by Iron Gaming at irongames.org. I think that's cool. I don't think it'll be bought much, so it kind of sucks. Just because it's a recolor that costs 400 gems. But
they should have just made a new skin for it.
I mean, yeah, they should have made like an actual skin for it, instead of like so people would buy it. But as it stands, I don't think anybody's gonna buy it. So that kind of sucks for all those amateur LAN tournaments. But what can you do? If the skin's not cool and nobody wants to buy it,
if you had the gems for it, would you buy it?
No, because there's all these other skins I want.
Yeah.
Is it not going to be a limited edition skin?
It's not limited edition.
Oh.
Where Raw America is a seasonal skin and is available until July 14th. But seasonal means if you don't buy it this year, it'll come back next year.
Okay.
So
it's like the
Easter Bunny.
Yeah, Feaster Bunny and
Easter Bunny.
Prishmash Bacchus. All that stuff. Other skins that came out. Metal Carnage Fenrir. This is one of my favorite skins they put in the game, and it's easily my favorite 400 gem skin in the game. It's fucking cool as shit. I think I fucking love it.
I wish they would do a different animation with his ult. Other than that.
I mean, I don't really know what you could do. He grows big.
He could transform.
Well, it makes a noise like that. But I don't know.
Beep, boop, beep, beep. What is his voice like?
It's like a robot.
Do an impression.
Voice. I can't.
Do your impression.
Fuck you, Trent. And then the last 2 skins that are out in this patch, which 3 gem skins, so that's a lot, even though there's 3 recolors, really. Valiant 1 Rom, which is Rom's recolor that every god gets, and then Gold Osiris. So for all you Osiris players, yay, gold. It actually is a really fucking nice gold skin, to be honest. And Legendary looks even better. So, new ward skins, updated cards, I don't care about that stuff. HUD customization. So, like right now, you can scale the HUD. You can make it smaller or you can make it bigger. It does everything, though. So you can't like specifically do it. No, that's what's right now. What's coming is that you can take each individual thing and make it bigger or smaller. So like if you want your all your items down in the bottom right to be big, so you know what you have, but you don't want your stats big, you can make those small while those are bigger and stuff like that. So you can individually scale each element of the UI.
That's what I meant.
And another thing is some stuff is actually like you can click it and move it. So like the map, you know how the map is in the top right corner, kind of?
Yes.
Yes.
It's underneath all the enemy player icons.
Right.
You can click the map and drag it to the left side of the screen.
Can you put it like dead center? Or
You can if you really want to.
Awesome. It should help me with my math.
That's awesome though.
Yeah. Because I was watching DM not too long ago, and somebody brought up how the map was on the right side of the screen, and he's partially blind in his right eye, so he can't see the map that well. And he was saying if he could just make it to the left side of the screen, it would be way better, and he'd be a way better player. So now he could literally take the map and put it anywhere and be like, oh, this is way better for me. So it helps people who might have trouble seeing with either side and stuff like that. So I think it's really cool. Yeah. Miscellaneous stuff, they've added a security question when you get on for the first time if your account is greater than level 10. I guess, I don't know if people were getting hacked or what, but...
Maybe, yeah, it's usually the case.
Yeah, there's that. League fixes, you can no longer jump really high. Trent knows how this works because he went from Bronze 5 to Silver 2.
Yeah, which isn't that, it's not that large of a leap. So.
It's not huge, but like...
Yeah.
I thought you meant the character animations. You can't jump as high.
No. But...
No, don't worry. You can jump. No, but yeah.
It's high. Chalk.
I like that, though. I feel like it makes you want to play League more, because, like, you have to grind to get to those upper...
It just sucks for everyone who's in Bronze 5 that doesn't belong in Bronze 5, because it's like, I won out of fucking Bronze.
Yeah, that's the only problem, is, like, they have to grind through Bronze, but...
Like me, I don't want to be in Bronze. I don't belong in Bronze at all.
Yeah.
It sucks ass. Okay.
You should have tried really hard, because now I'm, like, in Silver, almost into Gold. Like,
yeah. Alright, but... go ahead, Tyler.
I wish that they would just add a Team League, to where you could be in a party of 5 and then be in your own like bronze division of the 5 party teams, and then grow as
pro
team
teams
and not
would
single it.
and just shit on everyone because they would use that to scrim.
Well, they would be fighting other diamond teams, not bronze teams like we would
See,
start.
but the thing is, this is you trying to rely on the matchmaking of Smite when I've seen pro players say, "Oh, I got a bronze 5 dude in my fucking platinum/masters games,"
and he does amazing.
No, he doesn't. So, like, I don't know.
Well, maybe it should ask, like, are you a pro? Like, yes,
no.
Yes, I am.
Is this a pro team? No? Then play with these scrubs,
See, well, I just want to say my little thing that happened to me recently. So I was playing some League. I'm top pick. I'm like, cool, that's fine. Does anybody want anything? This guy near the bottom of the elo, is just like, oh, I want a mid. I was like, okay, but he doesn't say what he wants. Then somebody's like, grab Poseidon. I was like, sure, I'll grab Poseidon. Get Poseidon. Enemy team starts doing stuff. Everybody else starts doing stuff. Somebody's like, Nico, what do you want to do? I'm like, I would like the jungle. And the person that wanted mid was like, with Poseidon? And I was like, no. And then I started to get really worried. And then it comes to this guy, and I'm like, hey, get me Thor? No, wait. Osiris wasn't banned. Get me Osiris, because that motherfucker's overpowered, and we'll get to that in a little bit. And he's like, how about Loki? I was like, please, for the love of God, no. What about Nemesis or Freya? He gets Freya. We have a 4 magic team. This motherfucker didn't know you could trade. And then we had a Ymir, who never played ranked before, and that was fun, and yeah, that was not a fun game.
Wait, he didn't know you could trade?
Yeah, because he asked me, he was like, are you going to jungle with Poseidon? I was like, no.
They should make you take a test before you play ranked.
The test.
Like, scenarios. Like, can you trade? You know how to trade.
It's like, what is trading? I don't know. What is that? It's where you can pick gods, and if your allied player has it, you can trade the gods, so that way they can play something that they don't want to play or whatever,
Yeah. Or they should ask, between these 3 gods, Selbek, Agni, and Anhur, who should play mid? Like, you should know these things.
Alright, so hopefully, I don't want to be in bronze anymore, but I don't want to play
that game.
Hell no. win that
I thought you were good.
I'm not. I don't like playing Freya, and they had Nuwa, so I was doomed from the beginning. Okay, wait. This comes to another thing. One, Nuwa's the cheesiest fucking god in the game. If you are a Nuwa player, I hate you. Die. Two, Trent has been lucky enough that he has seen Nuwa once through his entire time playing ranked. I've played 7 games, and that bitch has been in half of them. I hate everything.
Yeah.
Ugh.
She's worse than Apollo with the split push.
She is, because
Yeah.
with Apollo, well, actually, no, they're both fucking terrible at that. But, like, Nuwa, it's literally, where is she? Fuck, she just took our towers.
Yeah.
But when you fight her, she dies. Apollo is like, I don't care if you fight me, I'll kill you, I'm a carry.
Yeah.
It's,
Well, Apollo has to wait for minions.
yeah, that's,
She
she's not
can
that.
just like go right in and like go minions and just kill it, you know.
Oh, it's cheesy bullshit. Alright, but
And then she can fog out and she's pretty quick if she has sprint and stuff. But
I hate
Yeah.
her
I
so
can't use
much.
her.
You what?
Huh?
I can't use her at all. Like I tried to solo with her and
She's not. I mean,
She's not
Wasn't
good
happening.
at fighting people. She's good at killing towers.
Hmm.
So even if you're not good at like doing anything else, what you do is you wait until team fights start happening, and then you never participate in team fights, and you just go minions, and you take all their towers while they're distracted. Like,
I mean, her ult can be kind of useful for team fights, but I mean,
if you're good with the ult, it's dirty.
yeah. But
And-
that's about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw today Snipe won because of new wall split push.
That's just. It seems cheap to me. I don't
It's
know.
just cheesy.
I mean, how would you fix that?
Her minions can't tank towers the way they do right now. Or that, and Flame Strike doesn't damage towers anymore.
That would help.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause-
Or like the minions, like the tower doesn't shoot at the minions. You know,
Yeah,
like,
or well, then they kind of just sit
but the
there.
minions can't attack the tower.
Okay, yeah.
So if
like-
you come forward, you know,
yeah.
I don't know.
There's
That'd be
things
kinda-
you can't do, though. But then again, that would make her completely unviable, so that kind of sucks. But at the same time, that bitch is stupid! Anyway,
Yeah, that's the hard part. You know, just
yeah.
gotta find a balance.
I don't know. I think the Flame Strike fix would be the best, because at late game, it's literally Flame Strike at your feet, Polynomicon hit, tower's dead.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the reason it's so quick is because she can use the minions plus that. So,
Right.
there's some fixes they did. Siege map, artistic overhaul. I don't care about that. Let's talk about this new item that makes fucking warriors stupid good. Onkile, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's not a regular English word, and by regular English, I mean words like David and Ryan.
American word.
American words.
Well, technically, David's a old word because religious people were named David. So I don't know.
I think that's a translated name.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's not get into that.
Okay.
Onkile, I don't know how to pronounce this. 20 physical power, 60 magical protection. At first it sounds shitty, then you read it's passive. You permanently gain 0.5 physical power and 0.25% cooldown reduction per stack, and receive 5 stacks per god kill and 1 stack per minion kill. Max 60 stacks. Cost 2,400. That means you end up with 50 physical power, 60 magical protections, and 15% cooldown reduction for 2,400 gold. This item makes Hydra's Lament effectively useless. And if you
Yeah.
don't know what Hydra's Lament is, well, I don't blame you that much because nobody uses that item anyway. It's only recently been starting to be used by me and DM Brandon, and that's about it really that I know of. Basically, Hydra's Lament is physical Polynomicon, only it's not as good. But the only reason you buy Hydra's is because it gives you a good amount of power plus cooldown reduction to max out your CDR. But this item makes that worthless, being how Hydra's is 2840, this is 2400, and gives you magical protection. This makes warriors in the solo lane or out of the jungle even better against mages, which I'm kind of okay with because mages are really fucking strong right now. But
Yeah.
This is also coming from someone who likes to play melee physical characters, and it's like, oh, sweet, a fucking item that I can use that's really good.
It's gonna make Hercules.
It's gonna make every bruiser really hard to kill.
Yeah.
Like Tyr kind of like is really strong with this. Not like he used to be, but like he can take magical damage now.
Yeah, it's gonna make it a lot harder for mage, like
mids and solos to kill.
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, I think it's gonna cause Hercules to get nerfed or something.
I think Hercules gonna get nerfed.
He's been needing to get nerfed. Yeah. No
What's
one
that?
likes him. No one likes to play against him.
Hercules?
No, I think the item needs to be nerfed before it comes out. I think it does too much stuff. It gives you a lot of power, it gives you a good amount of magical protection, and it gives you CDR. And it's only 2,400 gold. Like, it probably isn't going to be released like this. If anything, I expect the magical protection to be brought down some, to like 40 or something, so you are not as tanky. But, I don't know.
But it still takes 100 stacks to get
60 stacks.
60 stacks to get that tanky.
No, the protection is protection forever. The only things that stack are the physical power and CDR.
Oh.
Yeah, so once you buy that, you have 60 magical protection.
Oh, wow, yeah. They should probably make it to where you have to stack for protection or something. You know?
And that would help it.
Yeah.
So it's not just, I'm tanky, and soon I'm going to be doing damage and CDR after I kill minions for a little bit. But,
it's going to be fun to see that, though.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it works. But who knows?
Fun and frustrating.
Let's see. They made a new tree for it, which is like this tree for physical damage and magical protection tree, which has the runic and shield of regrowths in it. For some reason, in the PTS, runic shield is more expensive than shield of regrowth. Runic shield is the shield that gives you HP 5 if you get hit by an ability. It costs 200. No, Runic Shield's the one that gives you more magical protection if you get hit by an ability. It is 2,400, and they reduced the price of Shield of Regrowth to 2,250, which is weird, but at the same time, I kind of get it because HP 5 is a shitty stat, so it makes sense that a shitty item would get a price decrease.
Right.
But Runic Shield doesn't get picked up by anyone either, so I don't know why
Yeah.
it didn't get a price reduction.
Yeah. I mean,
So, I don't know.
honestly, the only actives really is fucking beads, ages.
No, not actives. This is just a regular item.
What?
Shield
Oh my
of
God.
Runic Shield are the items that give you
Yeah,
20
I was thinking of
okay.
shield for some reason.
You're Shell. You're thinking of Shell.
I'm thinking of shell, but it should be shield.
Shell's actually really good.
No one uses it.
Yeah, but no one uses it.
It's good. I mean,
The
if your
girdle something is good.
Girdle is not good unless it's Girdle of Inner Power. Shut up. Anyway, they nerfed Polynomicon, and the reason I'm going out of order is because the patch notes are out of order. They nerfed Polynomicon. Your next basic attack does 85% of your magical power goes from 85 to 50%. So, mages can't be like, here's an ability cast. Oh, I missed my ability? Whatever, I'll hit you in the face for 1,000.
1,000.
That's not even me bullshitting, because at late game, like an Ao Kuang, if you build not even like super like glass cannon, but if you have 800 magical power, your in-hand will do 100 to 150 something, plus 600 something.
I guess I've never just really noticed that.
Yeah, Polynomicon's fucking stupid. But yeah, so Polynomicon nerf, as well as a buff to warriors. I don't know if high res is bipolar. It's like, we don't want warriors to control the meta. Now we do. Well, mages should do it. No, never mind. Like,
I think they're just trying to find a balance.
I don't know. I like the nerf to Polynomicon because I don't like fighting mages who aren't good at hitting abilities and then they just go, nah, and then you die. So, that's just me, though.
Yeah.
And then they lowered the price of the second tier in the magical protection, physical damage. list of items. It's called the second tier is Warded Shield. They lowered the price to $14.50 from $16.10. Whatever. That just means you can buy that. If you really, really wanted to, in the solo lane, you could start Warded Shield and then get 950 gold and go back and buy Ankile or whatever. But then you don't have Hand of the Gods, and you're probably going to lose a lot of gold to the tower. So it's probably not the best thing to try to rush. So, cool. Throwing Dagger / Golden Bow. Price reduction from $14.50 to $24.80 to $1323.30. Item is still garbage. Nobody's going to buy it.
I like that.
No, you don't. You don't even play physical gods.
Okay. Is Raw not physical?
No, he's not.
Whoops.
Contrary to belief.
If he punches, he is. Could you imagine?
That'd be hilarious.
Falcon punch.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, like, if there's still not good items, and there's no reason to pick up Golden Bow. There's not a reason to have an item like that in Smite, because in League of Legends and stuff, you don't have like straight skill shots and stuff to clear lanes like the way we do in this game. Where in Smite, every hunter has an ability that pretty much just annihilates an entire wave of minions by level 9. And that's under 10 minutes that you can hit that. So there's no reason to have an item like Golden Bow that cleaves and helps you clear with basic attacks. Like, it's not even good on ROM. I tried it to see if, like, it applied with the 1 and it pierced and, like, killed the minions in one shot. It still takes 4 shots with, like, throwing dagger to clear the entire wave of minions. So you're better off just starting the normal Death's Toll Dev Gauntlet, like, level 1 start or whatever. So, yeah, still bollocks. Bart said they're probably going to keep trying to figure out how to make this item actually worthwhile. It'll probably end up becoming overpowered, and everybody will be buying it, and then for like...
They nerf it, and then it's no longer played.
Just like Chain Size for a little while. It's like, oh, Chain Size is completely overpowered. It has lifesteal on it, attack, and all sorts of shit. Yeah. Then they got rid of lifesteal, and Carrie stopped picking it up, and then everybody was like, oh, wait, this is great on Warriors, and... fucking items, man. Also, I gotta clean my glasses.
It's hard. You gotta find a balance between them all. You know, you have to make them all. I don't know. You almost have to make them all balanced, and they're based on scenario. You know,
yeah.
Like.
I mean, I get it. I understand why it's not easy to balance this shit, but it's just like sometimes, like right now, all the warriors except for Hercules, Vamana, and Chalk are like out of the meta.
Yeah.
And they did that on purpose. They were like, let's nerf warriors across the board and then target these certain warriors that have been performing extremely well. And now they're like, all right, now we got to do, I don't know. It sucks because I'm not a balanced person. I can think of certain things like the Nuwa thing and like how to sort of nerf Osiris so he isn't kind of just stupid. But I don't know. We'll get to Osiris as we go down the balance and updates, fixes stuff right now. All right, Apollo wasn't nerfed. Who cares about the bug update? I can't believe this motherfucker still can get away for so free. It's literally, oh, my enemy team coming? It's a good thing there's a ward. I'm going home. Peace.
Yeah.
Walks out. Like, come on. I hate stuff.
How would you nerf him, though? How would you...
The way they did it before was he uses more mana when he uses his ult, but that doesn't help late game where he's the strongest.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to nerf hit across the sky to make it to where Apollo can't just get away for free.
I mean, you can make it where it takes him longer to get his ult off.
No.
But
it already takes.
I mean, it already takes kind of a lot, but
yeah,
I don't know.
They could get rid of the protections on Serenade. Because they added that because he was doing poorly because nobody knew how to play Apollo. They could take that off so that way when he uses Serenade and you wake up, he doesn't have 60, I think it's like 60 protections after he does that ability.
Wow.
I don't know if it's that large, but he does have a decent amount of protections after using that. So if they did that, it would be easier to burst him before he got into the air. So I don't know. Artemis got bug updates, so nobody cares about that. Bacchus got a buff.
Yay.
Chug no longer takes as much mana to use. It's
That's
not,
good.
it's not as big as you might think. It goes from 50, 80, 110, 140, 170 at all ranks to 40, 65, 90, 115, 140. So 10 off the first rank and 30 off the last one, which isn't huge, but it could be enough to where it's like, oh, I'm not constantly draining my mana by using Chug to
Yeah.
get additional
Because
mana.
it was ridiculous. Like, you would have to get blue buff instead of you carry.
Yeah. Trent knows. He used to play Bacchus.
I did, back before they nerfed him.
That was when he had the fastest jump in the game.
That's when you carried. And we do, like, Neath Bacchus.
That was back when 2-1-2 was a thing.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. Chalk, bug fix, Cupid updated things. Fenrir got a buff. And there's probably like 1,000 people crying and quivering in fetus positions right now. I'm surprised Tyler isn't one of them.
First off, I just want to say, Tyler, your camera or something has constantly been getting darker and darker. Like,
It's the mode of the
pretty
underworld.
soon, it's just gonna be a black screen. Like.
With just Tyler's face. Just barely lit up.
Is it the sun? Yeah, I think it's because the sun's going down.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, I can turn on the light again. I mean,
You can.
No, it's fine. You're fine.
I mean, I don't know. He went from being lit up and actually to being a skeleton. So.
it's just symbolism, showing how my soul is getting darker.
Okay. But yeah, Fenrir got buffed. And the reason for this is, if you don't know, is Fenrir is the worst performing god in the game because Fenrir is not good. If you play mages, you think Fenrir is overpowered. Well, that's because you don't have a way to deal with him, because mages don't have any stuns or fears on them except for Hades. But he's a guardian, technically. And yeah, mages just inherently are very easy to kill with certain things. But Fenrir, Seething Howl, physical power bonus increase from 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 to 10, 25, 40, 55, and 70 per rank, which means late game, Fenrir can howl and get an additional 105 physical power, which is pretty good, because that's at max runes, by the way. That's how I get that number. Because if you didn't know this, Seething Howl increases the benefit that you get from it at max runes by 50%. So 70 plus 35 is 105. And it also does 50% lifesteal at max rank plus full runes. So Fenrir will smack you in the face harder and regen health easier. Ragnarok also got a damage increase, which is weird because Ragnarok's damage is kind of useless in a way, because it's that ability is CC. Like, you use Ragnarok to pull someone out of position, not to hurt them. But it went up from 150, 225, 300, 375, 450 to, 200, 275, 350, 420, 500. Yay. I say 420 because it should be 425, but I think somebody at high res was like 420. Okay.
Subconsciously.
It's like, what would I rather be doing right now?
Yeah.
Smoking a bowl. I don't know. That's not going to help much. Even Bart said, like, something that would actually, like, really help Fenrir is if you buff Brutalize. But if you buff Brutalize, everybody will lose their goddamn minds.
Yeah.
So that's why they did Seething Howl and Ragnarok.
See, I think Fenrir, he's like on a thin line to where if you buff something wrong, he's just like overpowered.
Well, I mean, we were there for when he was released and Brutalized did
and he's skilled.
Damage.
He's skilled all over people.
He's skilled all over you.
Yeah.
And in fact, back then when Fenrir was released, you didn't upgrade Brutalize. You upgraded Seething Howl because Seething Howl made it to where Brutalize just did more damage in anyway.
Right.
Because the thing back then was you use Seething Howl, you'd get, I think it was actually this number, like it was from 10 to 70, so you would do it a fucking exponential amount of more damage if you upgraded Seething Howl first. Because it was just your in-hand attacks, and it could crit, and it would apply Executioner Shred. Like, Brutalize was fucking ridiculous when he was released.
Yeah. There was no escaping.
Yeah, it was actually harder to even escape, because Neath's backflip isn't considered like a leap, like on hers and stuff. he would follow her in that and kill her while she was in the air. It was amazing and also frustrating. But yeah, some of the Doge is getting some buffs. Tyler, do you have any thoughts on that? You haven't been talking a lot.
I mean, I just don't have much to say. I don't know as much as you guys.
Well, I mean, you're a mage player, so knowing Fenrir's getting buffed, that should mean.
I mean,
the cool thing about Smite is like, it's a lot of like PvP, like like it's, what I'm saying, like it's not so much about items, it's like how good you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Fenrir was I've never felt threatened just as long as I kept my distance. Like.
Yeah.
I mean, the only way he'd kill me is if I was in a team fight, not paying attention at all, which I generally am.
Okay.
I'm focusing on one person, and
when you see Fenrir, like when they use like a character like Fenrir and use him as support, there's something wrong with Fenrir.
Well, it's the reason people are trying to use him as support is because his late game damage sucks. Because Brutalize doesn't do anything. Unchained gives you a stun and it does good damage, and Seething Howl doesn't give you enough. So it's a good thing they upgraded Seething Howl, but like there's literally no reason to use Brutalize late game. Like Fenrir goes from an assassin into a bruiser way too quickly.
Yeah.
Like Thor can stay full assassin because of the way his damage scales, whereas Fenrir is just like late game. He's really. So people have been running him as a tank and been like, oh, this works sometimes.
Kinda.
It's mixed results. Isis, Circle of Protection. This is a bug fix, but it's technically a buff. Her ultimate, the Fire Giant's lava will now appropriately charge the Circle's meter. It wasn't doing that before, so if you ulted the Fire Giant and the lava came up, it wasn't charging the ultimate.
That actually could be pretty huge.
It's not kind of, or it can't. You know how you said it can be pretty huge?
Mhm.
It is really huge.
Yeah.
Because if you put that down right as that happens and the enemy team converges on you, pop that thing for 1,400 damage and nobody's going to make that.
And then heal the whole team.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. You might be seeing more Isis.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is a bug fix, so people thought it was supposed to be doing that already, but, who knows?
Yeah.
And now, Queen of the mid lane. Tiny queen of the mid lane. Scylla gets nerfed. Sikkim. Duration on Sikkim. What are you doing? I just
Nothing.
Look over. You're like, what's going on my computer screen? Is that Asian fisting?
It's gotten really dark.
No, I keep whenever Tyler nothing.
Put on your light.
Put on your light.
Where'd
you go? Into the darkness. I'm back.
Oh my god. It's a bright ass light.
That's better.
Yeah, that's way better now.
Well, that looked cool.
Yeah. Alright. Alright. Scylla. Sikkim. Her root and cripple. Duration reduced from 1.25, 1.5, 1.75, 2.0, 2.25 to 1.15, 1.3, 1.45, 1.6, and 1.75, which at max rank is 1.5 less. I mean, not 0.05 less, which is actually good because you won't get rooted and crippled to the ground forever now. And Crush. This ability now has a minimum travel time of 0.5 seconds when used close to Scylla. Beforehand, if you threw it at your feet, it landed instantly and you could blow someone up for 800 damage for free. Now it takes at least 0.5 seconds and somebody can do an ability out of the way.
I think that those are some good nerfs. That makes sense.
Yeah, I was going to say, I like these nerfs because they're not, this isn't what, happened to Zhong Kui, where he went from the best mage in the game to absolute complete garbage in one patch. We see that Scylla's doing really well, and we see that she's getting banned a lot. Let's cut some things minorly and see where she goes from there. I like that a lot.
Yeah, like her one did, root you pretty long.
It's just really long. It's at first you don't think it's long, and you're like, oh, I could sit here, and then she puts out Crush, and you're like, I just took over 1,500 damage in 2 abilities because I was dumb enough not to beads out of the first one because I didn't think it lasted so long.
Yeah.
But now it actually does not last as long. And yeah, I don't know. I like tiny nerfs. I don't like huge nerfs to any gods ever. Tyler has no opinion.
I mean, no.
You know what's really weird? You turned on the light and you not only look better, like your camera quality looks better, but it's also not laggy. Whereas it was before.
It was probably just trying to focus.
Let there be light, said the Lord.
Yeah, probably.
Your camera shall not.
See, I feel the same way about Kumba though with his yawn thing. It takes forever.
We're not there yet.
Oh, we got a nerf.
Damn it, Tyler.
Yeah, he did.
We gotta restart.
Fuck it. This podcast is over. I'm not doing it ever again. Okay, let's go. Hades, Devour Souls. Blight detonated enemies now deal 50% of the damage to enemy gods, but still do full damage to other targets. Which means if you were a dumbass and stood in the minion wave while Hades dove into it or anything, you would get deleted instantly at levels 1 through 9. Now, you might not get deleted. No. See, Tyler didn't do anything wrong in that game. You can't lane against Hades. You can't.
I agree.
No, I know.
You cannot.
Because if you go forward, he kills you. Like, nobody wins against his lane presence. The only thing is, that's the thing, is Hades makes you not want to play anymore. I've played against Hades mid, and it was fucking awful, because I was Zhong Kui back when he was overpowered, and I got shit on. It was awful. Like, but now you don't take as much damage, but Hades still kills all the minions instantly at level 3. So, he kills minions now, but he has a harder time killing gods. In fact, by half as much. So hopefully that makes him not as pub stompy. Because Hades.
Honestly, I don't think you'll see him anymore.
Maybe, who knows?
Because he's not even that
change him
good.
to a mage.
They should change him to a
the Guardian crap. Change his ult and change him to a mage.
I mean, his ult's
awful.
It's not awful. I think
it's good.
They should make it so like you can't. Some dashers can't get out or something. You know, like.
Then he'd be overpowered.
Yeah.
As soon as you give Hades well, I'm just saying, like, you give Hades a cripple or anything in his ultimate, he's broken.
Just make it shorter.
But then you would have to compensate that by doing more damage over a short period of time.
Hades is complicated. Just change the ult.
It would be easier to change the ult and how it interacts. But I'm not one for changing his ultimate, but I don't know.
It's a cool ultimate.
It is cool. It's a cool concept. But Hades needs a rework, because Blight as a concept is cool. The fact that he needs it to do things with his abilities sucks.
Yeah.
He just needs to be reworked, to be honest. Hercules. This is the best part. When people saw Hercules hovered up, they were like, "Oh, Hercules nerfs! It's coming! Strength from pain." That's not a ability. That's his passive. Updated ability icon. Oh, damn it! Everybody in the chat when they saw that. So Hercules. Everybody knows how I feel about Hercules. I think he's great. He's awesome, and I love playing. Just as a little thing of information, if you're not familiar with the pro scene of Smite, with the esports and everything, for this week and last week, Hercules was completely ignored. And by completely ignored, I mean not picked, not banned, just absolutely excluded from everything.
Why?
I don't know.
I swear. I still think my theory is right about the secret pact. Like they all got together and like in hoods and like they got together like a secret. No Hercules.
Don't play him. He'll never.
Untold rule.
Untold rule.
Like he's before. Like the first week the first 2 weeks he got buffed. He was banned like every time, and when he got through, he didn't do well. Now they just ignore him.
I mean, in league matches, he's always banned.
The funny thing is, like, pro teams don't care about him anymore. Like, the highest of top tier players don't give a shit about Hercules at all. They don't value him in any way. And in the league, apparently, he stomped.
He's like the first one gone.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been the same for Arachne for the longest time. In ranked games before when she was fucking stupid pub stompy, you would have to ban Arachne in league games. Where in pro teams, they would never even think of picking her because just the way it works. Like, so, I don't know.
Do pro players feel like if they work well as a team, Hercules becomes
a non-issue?
Yeah.
I guess, because, like, All right, let's go to that one game where we played duo lane Hercules and who was it?
Yeah, that was Jeb, yeah.
So we did fucking amazing early game. All of a sudden, team fights break out, and their entire team converged on my ass. Like every single 3 team fights, I got bursted instantly. So I guess if you actually go, all right, 5 of us have to kill him, then yeah, he does die. But
Well,
that's any god.
we were doing we didn't have a carry, so I don't know. What if you were jungling or doing solo? Would it have the same effect? You think?
Probably not, because we would have had somebody in the back lines able to auto attack people for a million.
Yeah.
So
So it could have been just this scenario.
yeah, I don't know. I think he's amazing. And Bart and Hindu Man, while casting today, they recognized the fact that Hercules wasn't being picked up. I saw this myself, that Hercules' stats across all casual games is low. He doesn't win half the games he plays in. And in league matches, he's banned more than he gets played, so his win-loss ratio in that is low as well. And now he's not being picked up in pro teams at all. So, he's really good, but it's just, I guess people just don't do well with him, which is strange because even Hindu Man and Bart were in solo queue settings, he could really wreck because people don't properly communicate sometimes. But apparently in team oriented settings where you can communicate, it's easier to shut him down. But I still feel I don't know, he's amazing.
I'm just surprised not one team.
Yeah, none of the games that were casted had him. None of the high level teams I think even considered him. I don't know.
Maybe they just see something.
It's just you can watch my videos. I fucking destroy with Hercules out of the jungle. If I don't get first blood within the first 5 minutes, I'm surprised. I don't know. I'm okay with it because that means he's not getting nerfed anytime soon. But
yeah, I'm not okay with it.
I know you're not okay with it, Tyler. But it's probably because anytime I come into your lane, you're like, oh, let me get the kill. Never. Okay.
Oh, okay.
He's dead. Okay. You're welcome. I'll see you later. All right.
And then we have to hear, I'm Hercules!
Fuck you! I love playing Hercules.
Do you know who I am?
It's funny because I do say that when I play him.
Yeah.
Kumbhakarna. Kumbhakarna got nerfed. Mighty Yawn. 1.5 to 3.5 seconds to 1 to 3 seconds.
Huzzah.
It's not that big of a nerf at all. Early game, it kind of matters because level 1 Mighty Yawn doesn't do that much. It's 1 flat second. So that's good, but late, it's still 3 seconds, and his ultimate is still on a 60-second cooldown.
Yeah, I feel like that's what they should fix. They should make it a little
90
bit
seconds.
longer. 90, yeah, somewhere
That's
around there.
standard. 90 seconds is standard for all ultimates.
I mean, I think it should be 75. I don't know.
Well,
honestly.
see, I don't understand why it's 60 seconds, because it's a major CC.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
well,
it doesn't do killer damage.
This is true.
But
it
when
sets up everything.
It does.
Yeah.
Because we said today, in the
Mid-lane.
tournament, oh my god, fucking epic uppercut, and as soon as they land, Hubla crushing wave, dead, deleted every time.
Awesome.
Or epic uppercut, Thor dunk. It was epic uppercut is this master setup move, and it can come off cooldown 3 times in one team fight if you buy CDR boots.
And it's hard to predict, because he's so close to you.
Boom. It just happens. You're just up in the air. Yeah. The only time you can predict it is if he comes in, he blinks, mezzes you, and then goes for it. Then you can beads because you're mezzed and he's going to try to knock you up.
Right,
but if he just is there, you're not sure if it's up or up or not, and then you're up in the air.
Yeah.
So.
And then Hebo, giant wave hits you.
Or any mage. It's just all come down on top
raw
of it.
ult, anything.
It just sets up everything. It needs to be a longer cooldown.
Also, when he comes down, and if you're inside that area of effect,
and you bounce with teammates.
Yeah, which is huge too.
Yeah.
So I definitely think it needs a longer cooldown time.
Yeah, I think it needs a longer cooldown time. And I don't think Mighty Yawn needs to be nerfed anymore, but we'll see how he performs with this.
Yeah, I see most of his issue is the ult.
That's what I'm thinking too. Mercury, Sonic Boom. There's a bug in Assault where if you ulted off of the platform when you spawn, you would endlessly run.
That's awesome. Damn it! I wish I knew that before.
Well, it's not fixed yet, so if you want to play
But what are the odds of me
getting Mercury in Assault?
Only 1 in 55.
Well, actually, it's great in that because you can reroll.
Oh. Let me get my calculator.
Vulcan, Magma Bomb, fixed missing impact sound and hit particles. We saw this when the patch first went live. You would throw Magma Bomb and nothing would come out and nothing would happen, but the enemy god would take damage.
Right.
Just invisible bombs everywhere. Shibalanke, this is technically a nerf, but it's supposedly not a nerf because it's how everything else is affected. Branching Bolas. Being CC'd while Branching Bola is active will deactivate it and force it to be recast, which it wasn't doing before, which means if you got stunned with Branching Bola active, you didn't have to press 1 again to have it come back off, but now you do. It's technically a nerf because you have to, if you're not paying attention, you'll have to press 1 again and stuff like that. But
well, speaking of characters who need rework,
he just needs to be able to clear the lane effectively, and he'll be fine.
Maybe make his
what? Go ahead.
I would say maybe you can mess around with his mana levels.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
his clear is weak.
It's very weak. That's the reason he doesn't get played competitively at all.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, Shibalanke is like one of the hardest hitting hunters in the game. The only thing is he can't clear lanes for anything.
The problem is reaching late game.
Yeah.
Because if you look at On Her, Neith, the new hunter, they all have ability to just like pierce through all the minion wave, and they're all dead in like a second. And X-Ball, you gotta do your dash, and
which you don't want to do because then you get rid of your escape.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, it sucks for him. And his Y Cuba doesn't get played a lot either because his
clear,
his bomb is like it's an area of effect, but you got a bunch up.
Which kind of sucks because it really gets rid of the dynamic part of each character, Yeah.
So with Rom at least, it's a steroid on his auto attacks, and it's not an ability that's just like, oh, I shoot this and it kills all the minions. It's I can pierce through the minions and hit them all with my auto attacks now.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I like Rom's way to do it more than, oh, I'm Uller and I have Bladed Arrow, which is basically just like Spirit
On Her,
or what a lane clear ability. So I don't know. He just needs something. And Zeus, detonate charge. Slow increased from 30% to 40%. Zeus now slows you more. It's not going to help him get played anymore, which I'm okay with because fuck Zeus. So
I hate Zeus.
I don't think anybody's cool with Zeus.
Anything for Chang'e?
No Chang'e, anything. So it's funny because Chang'e was picked in the finals, if I'm not mistaken, but I think Smite lost that game. Like, that was the game they lost, which is funny because they had Chang'e and Osiris, and they lost the first game.
Well, we were talking about how Chang'e wasn't that great of a matchup against Raw.
Which is funny because you think healing debuff, but what he does is he clears the lane before she can come close to him, and then just sits back and heals anyway.
Yeah.
And if she wants to try to debuff his healing, she has to go tank an entire wave of minions to do that because he clears faster than she does. Yeah. So, not the best matchup against Raw. Great matchup against Aphrodite. She shits all over Aphrodite.
Right.
And hell, she completely destroys too.
Anyone with a burst heal.
Well, technically Aphrodite's is dot, like it's an overtime heal, but the difference is Raw goes, I'll clear the wave with my 1 and then back off and heal on my 3 from a distance, where Aphro is like, I'm going to move up, cast the birds to clear the wave and heal at the same time, but I'm at the front of the minion wave, and Chang'e goes, Moonflower Dance, you're not healing anymore.
Right. Yeah.
So it's this double-edged sword for Aphro, which is why she loses so easily to it. Nothing for Chang'e. me and Trent have been saying she's OP since forever. Like, even after she was nerfed, me and Trent have just been like, hey,
We've
Chunka.
said some terrible things about her.
I can't repeat the things I've said
Awful.
about Chunka.
No.
She just needs longer cooldowns by like just a 1 second or 0.5 seconds. Like her stuff comes off so fast.
See, the only problem with that is everybody already buys full CDR on her, so they can do it more. So that would just necessitate that even more.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't hurt her that much.
And she was already nerfed.
Not recently.
Well, a long time ago,
A
but
long time ago.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't think she's as big a deal. Nobody plays her yet, but DM's always like, give it a couple weeks. It'll happen. She'll start being picked up for counters and everything. It's like,
Well,
I
just the
believe
fact that DM said that is gonna make her be played more.
well, some people like to spite him, so maybe not.
Oh, okay. Well,
But
awesome
then again,
people.
he was right about Scylla. Like, he was like, Scylla's fucking overpowered. I don't know why. Like, and she was ignored at the launch tournament where she was able to be played. And only one person played her in the solo lane.
Did they win that?
No, they got destroyed because they didn't know how to
And
play
this was
Scylla right.
before she was nerfed,
Well,
right?
Scylla's never been nerfed up until right now, with this patch coming out.
Oh, right, she was buffed. That's
Yeah, she
right.
was
She was
buffed.
buffed. Her ult is quicker or something, right?
Yeah, and she could throw Sentinel farther.
Right.
Yeah, so she got buffed, went to launch tournament, nobody played her, and then the new season that we're on right now started, and everybody started playing her, and everybody was like,
banning her.
fucking ban this bitch, oh my god.
Yeah.
So, now she's being nerfed finally.
That ult
No.
is just so good.
It's just fucking, dunk you, you're dead, dunk you, you're dead, dunk
It's like,
you.
imagine raw beams and you get to shoot it again if you kill someone. It's like, like,
It's
like
just,
holy shit.
I mean, you have to actually hit it, which it's not that easy to hit, but in a team situation where you're communicating with your guardian who could set up a CC to hit it,
Right.
it's fucking amazing. So, yay. Osiris. This motherfucker made it through this week without being nerfed. And that means it'll be another week and a half before he may or may not get nerfed. Because patches are at a week and a half basis. Because if all goes well, patch notes were last Friday, which was yesterday. And the patch will come out Wednesday, which means there will be no patch notes this Friday, but it will be next Friday, and then that patch will come out Wednesday. So it won't be another week and a half before he may or may not get nerfed. And to nerf him, I would say make it so he's not as fucking tanky as he is with the 3 active. Now, if you don't know about Osiris, let me tell you some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
His 1 slows by 20% and does a decent amount of damage and has a 5-second cooldown. His 2 increases the slow from his 1 for an additional amount of time, as well as doubling the slow. So it goes from a 20% slow at, I think, 4 seconds, or 2 seconds, I can't remember, because I don't have it up in front of my face, to a 40% slow that refreshes the timer. So you could hit someone with the 1, wait a couple seconds, hit them with the 2, slow them, and like they go from 20% slowed for this amount of time to 40% slowed for 4 more seconds, and they can't get away from you.
That's crazy.
Well, I understand why this might not get nerfed, his 1-2 combo, because Nemesis came out and she could do that with one ability that's extremely easy to hit.
Yeah.
It was a 50% slow that was in a cone, whereas Osiris has to land a skill shot and then a AoE hit for it to be that same kind of effectiveness. So I could see if that doesn't get nerfed anytime soon. But his 3, Spirit Tether. Alright, let me just give you a couple little examples. Trent knows Tyler was not there for this game, but he was there for another game. So, I'm playing Osiris. We get to late game. I'm carrying the fuck out of our team. Literally like 20-2 at this point.
Like always.
Not always. I don't get that many kills all the time. So, I go in on 4 people. I hit them with Spirit Tether. They dumped 3 ultimates into me and a bunch of abilities. I jumped out with my ultimate with a little bit less than half health.
Hmm.
This was a 30-minute game where I took 4 ultimates to the face because of Judgment Tether. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous. And then
Yeah.
another instance that Trent saw was
I was like, okay.
okay, I was less than a quarter of my health. A Thanatos missed his ultimate on me. I use Judgment Tether. He proceeds to try to box me. I go, fuck you, and kill him.
Okay, wait. You had
Wait,
like
wait.
10% health.
Like, okay, but what? Other than that, I thought I had a little more than that. Another preface, you may be thinking to yourself, well, why is Thanatos trying to box you if he goes full CDR and pen and stuff? This guy built attack, like auto-attack Thanatos, so he had like Deathbringer and Rage and stuff. So he came at me like he was people, and I was like, you ain't people.
He had full health, right?
Yeah, he came at me from the base. Like, he respawned and tried to fight me.
He ulted you, landed on you.
No, he missed.
He
the ult.
missed. Okay, so he missed. And then because of your lifesteal mixed with
Spear,
your
Judgment Tether,
yeah,
he wasn't able to kill me
yeah.
because he was dealing reduced damage.
Yeah.
And,
I mean,
go ahead.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It was late game though. Thanatos does really fall.
Well, not if you build him with attack damage, because then he can box because of his attack chain and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
But just remember when I used to build attack damage Thanatos? That was dumb. Remember that one time I 1v3'd people?
Yeah. I'd be like, oh, Nika's dead, and then it's like triple kill. Oh, okay.
But Osiris is even better at that.
Yeah.
But like, if you don't know how Judgment Tether works, you hook somebody onto you, and for the amount of time they're onto you, they're dealing reduced damage. It starts at 15% and maxes out at 35%, I think. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Yep, I was right. Yay. So they do 35% damage less to you, plus 5% per second they're attached to you, a maximum of 4 seconds. So that means before Thanatos got stunned, he was dealing 55% less damage to me than he would have had I not used that ability.
Yeah. And, late game, so you have a ton of protections,
So I built Haida Urchin. So I had
Urchin, yeah.
100.
A fully stacked, probably.
Yeah. And then I had Aussie, and he couldn't fight me because he was dealing less damage than he probably thought he was going to be doing. And I killed him. And it was amazing. That ability.
I was like, well, Nico's dead, like.
Then you watched it happen, because weren't you dead? Like, you were.
Yeah, I was watching over it. I watched the whole fight. I was just like, well, Nico's dead, so. And then I see you, like, gaining health and taking him out, and I was like, oh my god, he's gonna win.
He's gonna actually kill this guy. And it's because of
then,
is OP.
And then you win, and you get the classic Nico, like, bitch,
And then I'm like, I'm taking the Phoenix. And I went and took the Phoenix and then ran away.
Yeah. And you had like 25% health or maybe even less.
Oh, it was so good. But yeah, I see Judgment Tether being nerfed to the point where it probably goes from like 5% reduced damage to 25% damage plus the 5% for 4 seconds it's attached to someone. Not the 15 to 35 plus whatever. That's what makes the most sense in my mind. Is there any gods that you guys think are issues where it's just like this god needs to be nerfed now?
Is he breaking up for you?
Getting some lag.
Oh yeah, I see. You both. Oh, there we go. I think we're good.
We're good.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead. Ask us again.
Wait. Hey, talk before me real quick.
So.
How are you?
What?
I can't tell. I think we're good now, though.
Okay.
I was gonna say, is there any gods you guys have problems with? Do you think are overpowered and need nerfed or anything?
Other than
I mean,
the
I
ones
think-
we talked about.
I think Hercules does need nerfed. I just don't want him to be nerfed. And I know Osiris needs nerfed, but I don't want him to be nerfed either because I like both of them.
Until you fight them.
But nobody knows how to play Osiris. Like, you see casual games all the time.
Yeah.
And then I play Hercules all the time, and we haven't fought a Hercules in fucking
Or I
forever.
play a league game and I ban out Osiris, and the team's like, "Why'd you do that?" I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
I think Giannis's damage is absurd, and if you're good with the character, he's fucking broken.
Yeah.
Like, if you can land his one
Yeah,
and then hit the two as they fall through it, he can literally one-shot you at, like, level 10.
that's true.
But if he misses that one, you're dead.
This is
Because
true.
that's your only escape. It is a wall and a one.
I think he's extremely hard to balance because of the way the two works, though, because it double taps the way it does.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. His damage is fucking insane.
Yeah.
But
I mean-
thankfully, in solo queue, people don't communicate well, and Giannis is kind of just like, oh, I'm fucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you had good communication, Giannis destroys everything,
Mm-hmm.
especially with the new ultimate, the way he can aim it. Whew. But I don't think Giannis will be. He was played in tournament, and I don't know if he won last week, but he was played last week. Unless last week was the Siege tournament. I don't think it was. No, it wasn't.
I mean, I feel like if you really know how to play him, like you said,
And you have good communication. He's good.
and you're good with skill shots.
Mhm.
You know.
Well, actually, I wouldn't say good with skill shots as much as good at predicting movement. Because you have to know where the enemy's going to try to move to
I mean,
make sure
that's-
the one is underneath them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically the same thing.
Eh.
They just need to make the one bigger on the ground.
Oh, if they did that, I'd be scared.
Yeah, a whole team of people just like.
I think it's as big as Freya's Whoop right now. I think. I'm not sure. Which, you can whoop 3 people, so...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Multiple people can fall through the.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
You can even use it to clear, because if you stack the minions right, you can put it and they'll all fall through as they walk forward.
Yeah.
Doesn't do a lot of damage to them.
It'd be cool if, like, when you go through the teleport, you're in a different world. You know?
Instead of just being teleported into the sky and falling.
Yeah. Just
That'd be
like,
cool looking, but
yeah,
how demanding would that be?
be very demanding.
Just on, especially when people, it's free to play game, and Hi-Res doesn't want people with shit PCs being like, I can't play. I only get 10 FPS. So, I can
But-
play League of Legends, but I have a toaster, so I can't play Smite. Dude, League of Legends can be run on a toaster.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a very demanding game.
It's not
But yeah, I think we listed
everything.
I mean, we could go over, like, underrated gods. Things.
Technically Osiris still, because people still
Yeah,
are
that's
just
true.
now realizing how strong he is.
Yeah, because they're seeing him in tournament play and stuff.
Well, actually, they're not seeing him in tournament play. They're seeing him get banned and going, why is he banned? Oh, I guess I'll try him out.
Or when he is played, they're like, wow.
He
Osiris.
does a lot of, yeah. Who's underrated? Thor. He still does get played a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
He's
Sure.
one of the most underrated junglers in the game. Like, people always forget that Thor is a thing.
But it's funny how Kumakarna,
Came into the
Like,
game when
ev-
shit is all hell, and then just
Yeah.
OP Guardian.
Yeah.
Well, that's just because Warriors, man.
yeah, that's true.
It didn't get better than Odin and Wukong.
Oh man, I miss it so much. I used to play Wukong so much.
You can still do it.
I
Wukong's
know.
not that bad.
Odin.
Yeah, because it's slow. Is
It's just
actually, yeah.
the only thing is Odin is, I don't know. I won't play Odin even out of the jungle. So
Yeah, no, he's like Zhang Kui now, like the old.
yeah,
Zhang
well,
Kui.
yeah. What happened to him at first?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Zhang Kui's coming back.
That's the OP god we didn't talk about.
Yeah, I just don't. Okay, look. I like Smite because a lot of stuff is really hard to hit. I don't like Zhang Kui because all of his abilities are fucking wide AoEs.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying before. The game's more about skill than builds.
And then Zhang Kui fumbles in and he's like,
Like, go, Ghost, go!
I hate his fucking ult.
Zhang Kui.
Zhang Kui. And then he's just like ghosts, and he kills everybody in a team fight by himself,
Yeah.
which we saw today in Smite versus COG. Snipe literally only won that game because they had Zhongkui Jeb. And Zhongkui was able to fight 3 or more people by
Well,
himself.
just like the Aegis. What's the one where you can
Yeah,
walk
Aegis Pendant is where you can.
Pendant, yeah.
We recently found out if you use Aegis Pendant while using Zhongkui ult, you still use the ultimate while being damage immune.
No damage.
It's fucking stupid.
Worst assault game ever.
All right. So we talked about the patch. We hit on some tournament stuff, but here's a little more tournament stuff. I wrote some stuff down while watching it. Osiris and Scylla first bans. Not surprising. Hercules being ignored, same as last week. I can see you wiggling those ears, you hippopotamus. What? Trent, are you okay?
He's just not moving. I can't see him.
Go ahead.
Ares got picked by Team Resist. It did not work well for them because Ares. A team used Sun Wukong jungle. It did not do well. He got invaded by 100 bots, and he lost his red pot, and he was Bumba's mask jungle, so he had no early game clear at all and got really behind.
Let us take a moment of silence.
Okay. Sun Wukong jungle. Failed. And then the draft they had, the last picks for this team were Sun Wukong and Vamana. Smite Game Chat went and said that Vamana would have been a better jungler, and I have proof that that's not a good idea by beating the shit out of 2 Vamanas that have tried to jungle against me.
Yeah, he just doesn't have that, like, surprise factor, you know? I mean, he could dash into lane, but...
And then knock someone up, and then slow them, but at the same time, it's like, those abilities don't do that much damage early game.
Yeah. And it's, with Thor, it's like ult, stunned, and then you stun them again, and you throw a massive hammer in their face. And
yeah,
it's like,
and it does a lot of damage early game.
Dead.
Whereas Vamana's an auto attacker, and his ability damage isn't great. His auto attacks aren't great early game, and he has no real way to keep you there. Whereas someone like Mercury, on the other hand, is an auto attacker, and is just like, sonic boom, you're disoriented, I can hit you in the face. What's it called? Shit.
He has stronger CC.
Yeah, he's got better CC. Osiris comes out of nowhere, slows you again, makes it to where you do less damage to him, and then stuns you for a second. Like, you try to get away, he jumps on you and makes it so you can't heal. Like, it's just Vamana's not a good ganker. Like, he's good in big team fights where he can go into Big Baby and, like, just stomp on people, but coming out of the jungle, I just don't see how he would be good.
Yeah.
And I've beaten 2 different Vamanas in the jungle, and they both got really far behind. That was bad. Anyway. Yeah, Smite Game Chat. Still doesn't know anything about Smite. Doesn't surprise me. Last week, TGC, the Game Changers, became Cognitive Red because Cog was like, hey, we should sponsor this team. Why not? We'll have 2 teams in the NA scene. Fuck it. And during their first broadcasted game against a Mighty Storm on the tournament this week, Dagars played Thor in the jungle, and he got 3 kills before the 5-minute mark. He actually played really, really well against them. And
he was what?
What?
What god is he? Was
Thor.
He playing?
It was Thor.
Oh, Thor. Okay.
Yeah, and getting that early lead with Thor is massive because that just makes you fucking scary when you get fed with Thor. Like, there are certain gods where it's like they're fed, but we can deal with it. Oh, stasis. Oh no! Hey, we're back. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know what's going on.
Still isn't moving too well.
But what I was saying was, some gods, when they get fed, you can still deal with them. With Thor, it's like he comes out of the sky and you're kind of fucked because he'll lock you in place.
Yeah.
So he's really.
I mean, we saw that in the tournament.
Yeah.
Atlantis Thor.
Cog Red, they came in 4th place because they had to go up against regular Cognitive Gaming in the bronze match. So for their first outing as Cognitive Red, not too bad. Zhongkui is getting picked more. Fucking. He was picked 4 times or something out of the casted games, and it was just It made my soul hurt.
Mhm.
But thankfully, there are gods being nerfed this week, which means banning Zhang Kui isn't that dumb of an idea. Thankfully, I just don't want him to be back in the meta because the Zhang Kui meta was the worst meta. It's like, do you have Zhang Kui? You win.
Yeah. Awful.
So Tyler, if you want
Yes.
to learn how to Zhang Kui,
I've tried it before and I got angry. But I didn't do it.
Well,
Everyone said how easy it was, and I was like, okay, I got this.
It's not
I
easy.
go in.
You still have to learn how to play the character.
Yeah.
Just like how I refuse to learn how to chop jungle because I don't like the way it plays. I'd much rather play him in the solo lane where I think he's really good.
I tried to jungle one time. Didn't work out.
Well, you got 3 man invaded. That wouldn't work out well for anyone.
Yeah, and then the BMing started. That's one thing they need to fix.
Well, that the only way to fix BM is to fix people, and that's not
Or
exactly
just
easy.
mute them.
Cog Red picked Ao Kwong. Ao Kwong was picked a lot, and I hate that so much because Ao Kwong is fucking dumb. And then Cognitive Gaming did solo back against, who did they play that against? Oh, it was Snipe. It was the game they lost against Snipe. So Sobek in the solo lane, he beat Zhang Kui in the laning phase early on and bullied him out of lane. But then Zhang Kui came back and was like, I don't care. We stayed in this game for 40 minutes. I've got items now. Screw you. And then they had Jungle Kali who didn't build beads and then got shit on by 2 of the characters that had dots, which were Zhang Kui and Ao Kwong, because she got CC'd in her ultimate and got dots applied to her, and then she got out of her ultimate and she died because, yeah. Should have picked up beads. Don't know why he didn't. I don't know. Weird. And last but not least, in Cognitive Red's game against Dignitas, Anatoly ran Hubwa in the solo lane, and they were like, oh, let's do Fenrir. And Fenrir actually killed Anatoly like 4 times before Glasses was like, enough of this with this Thor, and just fucking destroyed. And
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's a good matchup, but that's about it.
It's not a good idea. Like, Fenrir wins because Hubwa has no way to deal with Fenrir, but
when the team fights start happening, it's just...
Yeah, then Hubwa can still do things, and Fenrir's just like, I'm over here. I'm dead.
Yeah.
I'm a Doge.
I'm a Doge. Doing Doge things.
Such brutalized, much damage. Oh no, late game. Wow.
Yeah. That's right.
And last
Much
but not
being.
least, an upset. Snipe actually won the tournament series this week.
That's good to see. I'm so happy for them.
I'm sad that Dignitas lost, but happy because it's nice to see stuff like that happen.
Someone
Yeah,
different.
because you don't want like just 2 teams
Yeah,
owning the league. So
I'm down with it. But yeah, that's a lot of the stuff that happened in Smite this week.
yeah.
I don't have much else to say. Do you guys want to add anything? Do you have any thoughts about stuff that you haven't said yet?
I mean, I think I've said all that I needed to say.
As my dogs chime in and they're like, I have something to say.
They're pretty pissed about the whole Fenrir remark. So,
It's because they're doges.
yeah.
It's like, our fellow doge is much wow.
Yeah.
Such a maze. Woof.
They really. I mean, Anubis is another crappy dog character, so it's kind of sad.
I've been having fun with Anubis though.
He's fun. He just
At least not in Conquest and Arena and Assault and stuff like that. But
Well, Anubis is in a weird spot because he's good in the laning phase, but because of the way he roots himself to the ground in most of his abilities, he dies kind of instantly once team fights start happening because he's very hard to position, even for pro players. And people have always been like, well, what if you can move while doing his Plague of Locusts? Everything has suggested that if he could do any kind of movement, even if it was like at 10% movement speed, he would be broken. Like,
Yeah.
because he does so much damage. So,
And plus, it's really cool that, locusts come out of his mouth. You know? Just like him standing there, just like.
okay. I was like,
It's really
where
cool.
you going with this, Trent?
No, I like how his beam comes out of his mouth. It's just. Anyways.
He's a cool character.
Hercules
But yeah,
needs
I
to be
mean.
nerfed in some way, but he probably won't be.
He better be.
I don't think he will, just because
Go
the way
find
he's
some
not.
way to kill people.
I don't think he will be because he's not doing well in casual games. He's being ignored by pro teams.
Yeah, he's just not getting enough attention.
Yeah. So I mean, no, people are playing him. They just aren't playing well with him. They're dying and they're losing. I don't know. I think he does need nerfed. I don't know how to nerf him because his one needs to be as responsive as it is. Because the way it was before, it was like you were playing on 150 ping when you're used to 50.
Yeah.
His dash felt really, really shitty. And the way it feels now is awesome. And I want characters to feel good in when you play them, you know? Like you don't want to play a character and it feels like you go to do something and it feels like you're trying to move through fucking sludge. That's not fun, you know? And then maybe he doesn't need CC immunity in his ult, though I'm kind of a believer that every god should have that, so they at least have the opportunity to have their ult go off.
What if he had something kind of like Fenrir, where he had to stack runes? What if he had to stack something to make his dash stun?
Well, see, the way it worked before was way
Right.
back. You had to be under half health for his dash to stun.
Oh, okay.
And then they made it to where it just stuns all the time.
I thought it was also if you get him close to a wall, pin him to a wall.
It was just if you're under a certain amount of health.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe they should make it to where you have to hit him into a wall.
Yeah.
Well, the only issue is that just means he's going to lose more.
Good.
Good, yeah. He's part mortal,
He's
shouldn't
not
even
even
be
a
that
real
strong.
god.
I don't know. I understand that he is overpowered, and that's why I like playing him because
It's part of the game. It's part of the game.
But I just don't know how to nerf him without making him worse, to a point where everybody's just like, fuck Hercules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, also, this is just a PSA real quick. Don't fight Hercules early game. If you see Hercules and he has Death Toll and he's half health, don't go, I can kill him. You won't kill him. He'll kill you. Trust me.
you know what? Don't even fight Hercules ever.
Don't
see
fight
him,
Hercules.
just run, and then once you killed his whole team, then just kill him as a team. Then you might get lucky. You might kill him. Right? You might.
Well, see, to be fair, the way I build Hercules, you'll be able to kill me because I don't build that much protection, especially if your entire team goes on him. Other people usually build Hercules as very tanky and not as much damage. I go lots of damage and kill people instantly. But I'm just saying, if you see a Hercules come out of the jungle with red pot and Death's Toll, don't fight them. All right. So, Trent, you know damage, right? You understand how damage works. And you hear it and you're like, oh wow, that's a lot, right?
Yeah.
Tyler?
Oh, no. Not at all.
Okay. Well, then I'll explain this to you.
Okay.
Red pot from a jungle, the reason people buy red pot is because it gives you 20 physical power for 400 gold. It's a lot of physical power very early on. Death's Toll gives you 15. That's 35 physical power early on in the jungle. You clear extremely quickly with this, which is why you see a lot of people pick it up. Hercules, his passive is called Strength from Pain. He gets an additional 30 physical power plus 3 times his current level. Which means at late game, at half health, well, not actually, I don't know how much health you have to be missing for the passive to kick in to its full extent. But at late game, if you're missing a certain amount of health, you can have 90 more physical power, which is a lot. That's almost 2 full, really good damage items. But I'm not trying to talk about late game. I'm trying to talk about early game. If you see Hercules coming out of the jungle with red pot and Death's Toll, and he's at half health, he has an additional 15 physical power, if I'm not mistaken. So, that's 20 from red pot, 15 from Death's Toll, 15 from his passive. He has 60 additional physical power that you're not expecting. his what?
It's like a couple basic attacks. You're gone.
Yeah,
No.
it literally is, because at that point, his auto attacks are doing around 100 apiece, and his attack chain is 1-1-1.5, and at that level, you have maybe 500 health, and
Plus with his stuns.
yeah, his
like,
driving strike does at base, I think it's 90, and it's plus 90% of your physical power.
Okay.
Like, people have boxed me as Hercules. I'm just like, this isn't gonna end well for you.
like run.
It's like, don't fight me. It doesn't make sense. There are 3 gods in the game, I believe, you don't fight early game. Arachne. You don't fight the bug. That's been a thing forever. Her poison is too much to deal with early game. Thor. Here's why. Warrior's Madness is Thor's passive. It's where if you're near an enemy god, you get 15 physical power, which stacks up to 3 times maximum. Meaning, if you're fighting Thor, you're giving him enough power that it's... An item in the game is called Round Shield. It's 810 gold. It does 15 physical power. You're giving Thor an item that is 800 gold worth of power for being near him and alive. It's dumb, and I love it. And then Hercules. The more you hit him, the harder he hits you. Don't fight these gods early game. Oh, man. But that's the stuff I wanted to talk about real quick, because I know Hercules needed to be nerfed. I don't know where to nerf him. His passive might be nerfed, maybe.
Yeah, I think that would be a good.
I don't know if that... I don't know. I don't know how to nerf stuff, and sometimes I don't feel like Hi-Rez knows how to nerf things either.
Well, it's hard. It's hard.
Well, this especially Hercules. No.
I mean,
The champion of Rome stays.
it makes solo laning a lot easier.
He doesn't even get played that often.
Yeah, only when I try to solo. That's when.
Just don't fight him, Tyler.
Hercules.
Run.
Just raw beam and get out of there.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to touch on. If you guys have any last thoughts, then we could wrap this first episode up if you want.
Yeah, it's actually quite long, so I think it's a good stopping point.
Yeah. How good are you at annotations on YouTube?
Pretty good.
Okay.
What?
Click here to subscribe.
To who? To me?
And then for a pixelated Apollo, click here.
No, don't.
Probably don't want to subscribe to Trent. Just because I was gonna, yeah, it's not garbage. It's just not Smite related. So
yeah.
So if you're wondering why Trent's here and why Tyler's here, it's basically this: Trent plays lots of Smite. I play lots of Smite. Tyler plays lots of Smite. Difference being, I don't like saying this because I'd like to be more humble about myself, but I am I guess you could say I am a top, like mid to top tier to actual like high level player.
That's from mid
High to high level player. I don't like saying that because I don't feel like I'm that good, but fucking Trent and Tyler are both like, Nico, you're really good. I'm like,
I have higher elo than most pro players. But
I don't have higher elo than most pro players. Though, if you go to Tier Monster, I am in the top 150 something now. In casual games, I'm not a good ranked player. Well, I don't play enough ranked to know that.
Because I support you.
What?
It's because I'm best support and I support you.
Yeah, it's because communicating is so fucking overpowered in Smite. Being able to be like, hey Tyler, has this guy done this thing? No? Okay, try to force it out of him to do it. He did it, I'm coming to kill him. Like, being able to do that is so fucking strong. Like, knowing when an ability is on cooldown is so important. Especially for someone like me who likes to jump. But, so, like I said, I don't like to say I'm like a top level player, but meh, I guess.
But anyways, what we're trying to say here is, Nico, you're really good. I'm middle ground, and Tyler, you're new at the game-ish, so you're garbage. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
With 3 different perspectives on things. That's why I wanted all of us here, is because I bring something, Trent brings something, and Tyler brings something, and together works.
Together, we're overpowered.
Well, it's just, if you have something, it's like, why does this work this way? I can be like, it does this because this and this and this, because there's somebody else out there that's just like you.
Mm-hmm.
just like there's people out there like Trent and there's people like me. Everybody, they like having these 3 different perspectives on the game is a really good thing for a podcast, because if everybody's just like, I'm a high level player and it's Fenrir's shitty, like if everybody thought that, then Fenrir would never be played. But having different levels of players, like you get to hear the different thoughts and everything. The only bad thing is Tyler seems kind of shy right now.
Yes. First time I've
It's
ever
alright.
been in a video
At
with
one
a
point, I
face
thought
cam.
we were talking about active, so
Yeah, mistakes happen. Mistakes can
mistakes
be made.
happen.
But
I'm zoning out.
But I guess that kind of wraps this first episode of We Are Overpowered up, I should say. And if you're wondering why I named that, it's because when Hercules destroys either a phoenix or a tower, he goes, I am overpowered. And since I like Hercules, I wanted to incorporate that somehow. So I said we. We're not actually overpowered.
Yes, we are.
Technically, I am, because my name's Nico All-Powerful, but that's just a name thing. And then Trent is, because he named himself after Apollo. But
Yeah, well,
Tyler not so much, because
And
he's
then-
all about faces.
Ah, all about appearances.
hey, hey,
Hey.
what's up?
Are you going to say something, or are you just going to say hey? But yeah.
Click here to subscribe.
What?
Click here to subscribe.
I'm not doing that.
You gotta
Anyway.
do it.
I don't.
I'm
Alright,
pointing.
so shut up. I'm trying to do an outro thing. But yeah, if you like this podcast style thing, go ahead and tell me what you think in in the comment section down below. If you liked it, press the like button. If you did not like it, press the dislike button. That is fine. As long as you leave some kind of constructive criticism, that would be nice. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if either of you want to plug either YouTube, Twitter, or whatever, go right ahead, but I don't know if you want to, but go ahead if you do.
Wingapo.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
It's from Pocahontas.
Uh,
Alright.